That portion of plank you can see there laying, that's been here the whole time that I've been up in this country. And I assume it was from about 70 years ago when there was a cabin a little ways west of here. These mossy trails are my favorite places to wander up here. We don't see a lot of wildlife back in these areas. It's so dense, but it's so quiet too. "90 years ago, this was a winter road up to the Cedars. This is approaching Hawks Pond from the north. That's either the trumpet or swan sitting right out here. Looks like a few beavers have come over to resurrect the dam at Hawks Pond. With all the low water around, I'm not surprised. They'd be hard up to find a place to spend the winter. It's always nice when they do this. Plug any holes and keep a good supply of water for the other wildlife. Another day kind of coming to a close here at Martin's Cabin. I'm out on the north end of Hawks Pond. A little bit of a mist coming down, but the fall colors, it's just a beautiful panorama out here. I guess he just wanted to check me out. What a difference a day can make. Had a rainy day yesterday and the front moved through and the high winds, and now the day the weatherman he appears to be spot on. We've got a blue sky day, hardly any wind, and bright sun. It's going to be a great day to be in the woods. This big hole you see here next to the beaver dam wasn't here last year. I assume what happened was the dam here to the right sprung a big leak, poured water out so fast they couldn't stop it. But down here they just did a last ditch effort to, must have got in there, all of them, and they get down to the bottom and they push dirt up to the sides. And they pushed dirt up all the way around this to hold in what water they could until they could get the dam fixed. I was just talking to my wife on the satellite phone, getting caught up, and she mentioned to me, reading through some of my video comments, about how many times people talk about all my pans. Well, I should probably explain a little bit of that, because they've all got their use, and as I got looking around, I must admit I do have a lot of pans. Starts off though, some I hardly ever use. Now, right now, I put a chicken in dressing, and so this is the pot I'll use that to oftentimes fill with water, you know, to thaw that chicken out the rest of the way. And then all these big pans across here, this Revereware is nice and shiny, and one reason I like it is because it reflects light and it brightens up the cabin. But I do use them, and I use about all of them. Since I'm here alone, oftentimes fix up a little one-pot meal and I eat right out of that. And it's nice having 4 or 5, because several meals a day, I can go 2 days without doing the dishes, because oftentimes water is a little bit hard to come by around here. Some of the pans, frying pans, I like some non-stick ones. This is one of my favorites right here, and it just works out that I don't use this fry pan very much, but its lid fits perfectly on here. So all of my pans, they all come in and they get used, and they get used a lot. Now that's not even, what you see here isn't even counting. These are usually stored in the oven, you don't get to see them. Of course, made that chocolate cake this morning, and that's in this pan. See, I haven't even tapped into it yet. And in confession of my pan mania, I don't even want to talk about the 5 big cast irons that hang over here behind the wood stove. I wasn't kidding about that chicken. Should be enough there this afternoon's meal, and I'll put the rest in the freezer or the refrigerator and have a few more meals out of that one. Having some Cope's corn I boiled up along with it. It's got like a roasted sweet corn. A little different, but it's pretty good. Use that foil because I put a whole bag of dressing in there. There's plenty for the dishes later on. Well, I always know my chicken's done real well if I just pick the leg up and it falls off like that. That's I know we're done. I just need 2 or 3 more to come help me eat all this. And I still haven't touched that chocolate cake. I had a plan when I fixed up that roast chicken so early in the day, because I kind of like working in the evening. Then when I get all tired out, I can just go home, back to the cabin, and lay down and rest and go to bed. But while I've been here, I added up yesterday and I've checked out and cleared the logs off 22 miles of trail. This little segment here is one of the last remaining that'll be kind of choked up trying to ski it this winter. So the evening project is to clean it up. We've got a record morning this morning. We're up to 19 spruce grouse. It's an all-time record for the cabin for me at one time. We can kind of start taking these grouse for granted, but they're really a very hard bird to find for bird watchers. There's been a lot of photographers come back here to the cabin at the wrong time of the year and the wrong time of the day, because early October is a great time to catch them like this. They're really eating heavy on the grit. And for some reason, they flock in more and more as the days progress here in October. As I peruse different magazines, I've come across pictures of spruce grouse. And it's obvious that I can recognize those pictures as being taken here in this yard and around the grit station. One story was even on Alaskan spruce grouse. And the picture was taken, I know it was from the grit station, it's very obvious. There's even a museum in Alberta that's asked permission, and they use my grouse videos, the flutter flight and other ones like that. They're using them in their presentations. So these are becoming world-renowned grouse. I'm not sure what kind of communication those spruce grouse have, but yesterday morning there was 19 spruce grouse out there. This morning there's not a one. Now that's got to be something going on, but so I decided I'd turn my chair around, and since there's no grouse out there to watch and the gray jays have no chicken left to eat, turned around to have my morning coffee with the view out into the cedars. Maybe we can see some wildlife walking by is my hope. But as I sit here, I realize, oh no, I've only got 3 days left. We gotta slow this pace down a little bit. It's just flying by way too fast, so let's slow her down a little bit.